Help keep families close.
CBS, home of Super Bowl 55. The four states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach. Coming up this half hour, two Webb City baseball players have been on the field together since they were kids. Why that tradition will continue on to the collegiate level. And health experts worry COVID fatigue is contributing to a new surge in cases. For our Something to Talk About, we want to know whether or not you're experiencing any COVID fatigue. You can also participate in our Insta poll. Just visit KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. But first, a check on your forecast.
Wind advisory for our counties indicated in tan. You ask about the difference in the color if you're in southeast Kansas right there. It lasts until 4 p.m. The big difference is just the 2-hour extension. The light tan indicating the wind advisory all the way until Thursday at 6 p.m. coming out of the Springfield office for the National Weather Center is, anywhere from 40, possibly 50 mile an hour wind gusts for today. Wind just won't calm down on us. But what that's also resulted in are temperatures that are already in the high 50s. We're throwing up a 60 right now in Fort Scott. That's above our average November high for this time of year. From the Freeman Health System sky camera in Joplin, humidity only 37%. Somehow, some way, able to avoid that red flag warning we had yesterday. That's probably because we even picked up some light rain at Joplin Regional Airport. Yeah, I actually picked up some raindrops. Now, as far as what we're going to see temperature-wise today, it's going to be windy and it's going to be warm all the way up into the low 70s. Now, let's talk about the weekend at hand, because while we're going to be clear and sunny today, that cloud cover that we do have early this morning, it'll dissipate. Friday afternoon, then we begin light scattered rain. And notice the expansion there as we head into Saturday, where we get a little bit more widespread and we come down a little bit heavier as well. Looks like a little wet weekend. Cold temperatures on the backside of that. Look at that from Saturday into Sunday when the cold front hits. And we just kind of go straight down on the thermometer, then kind of normalize out and get some 50s and 60s next week.
Back to November weather.
Yeah, well, we should be. I mean, we're talking about temperatures that are 60 degrees right now, and sunrise is 7:02.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain about 74.
Crazy windy out there right now.
Yeah.
Crazy
I kept
windy.
thinking somebody was knocking on my front door. It was just
was it
something
rattling
on my
back
porch.
and forth?
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yep, just things blowing around. All right, thanks, Michael. More than 250,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus. The death toll, according to Johns Hopkins, already exceeds Dr. Anthony Fauci's pandemic estimate in March by 10,000. New York City is returning all of its public schools to remote learning today, as positive test rates hover around 3% in the nation's largest city. And while new cases surged nationwide, President-elect Joe Biden told frontline healthcare workers that President Trump is blocking his transition team from getting up to speed on the crisis. Here's an updated look at coronavirus cases among some of our area counties. Jasper County has had 4,405 total cases. Newton County is reporting 2,805 cases. McDonald County has 1,477 cases, and Crawford County is sitting at 2,026. Ottawa County has had a total of 1,515 cases. Newton County commissioners say they'll soon buy a mobile morgue following requests from Freeman and Mercy hospitals. A number of communities around the nation are already using mobile morgues, like this one in El Paso, Texas. 4 state hospital officials are concerned that rising rates of COVID-19 could limit their ability to properly care for all their patients. Newton County Commissioner Bill Rybolt also says COVID-19 creates even more issues when the patient dies from the virus in the hospital, and a mobile morgue could be a solution.
They wanted the bodies removed so they were not in the room, so they could properly clean the room, because hospitals are full.
The new mobile morgue will be bought with CARES Act funds. Local hospitals have been calling on area government officials to enact mask mandates in their communities. Now, at least 4 cities in our area have released statements about where they stand on potential mask mandates. Joplin Mayor Ryan Stanley issued a letter saying he would be contacting county commissioners in Jasper and Newton counties in an effort to work together to determine the best way to move forward. 3 other cities, Carl Junction, Webb City, and Carthage, issued statements later in the day saying they're trusting their citizens to do the right thing. Some Newton County officials say a mandate may not be the best course. The FAA gave approval for the troubled Boeing 737 MAX to carry passengers again. Following 2 air disasters that killed 346 crew members and passengers, Boeing was forced to ground the 737 MAX for 20 months. Financial damage to the commercial jetliner manufacturer is estimated at more than $20 billion. But as Caroline Elliott reports, the company's not out of the woods yet.
The FAA gives Boeing 737 MAX the green light to fly again, but the industry is still facing a global pandemic, and it could take years to recover.
I think it was going to be hard enough just for consumer confidence in the MAX itself. Now we have the issue of consumer confidence about flying overall. So this week also the great news is with the developments on the vaccine for COVID. So I think those 2 things coming together should really help our local aviation industry into 2021.
Through the 737 MAX crisis and the pandemic, Spirit AeroSystems has laid off thousands of workers this year. Now, experts predict the company will slowly call back employees to clear the backlog of fuselages that have sat in the parking lot since January.
With attrition, they're going to need to call workers back anyways within 2021. This will probably increase the pace of some of those recalls. Yes, I would predict.
When Spirit AeroSystems stopped production, it impacted dozens of small suppliers in the Wichita metro. Some companies have the same inventory sitting in their warehouse since January and don't expect to deliver the product for some time.
A lot of companies are not going to be open. They're not going to have the cash to start up. That's I think, going to be a big problem for Boeing and Spirit going forward. And that's not their fault. They just haven't received the funding to sustain something like a MAX shutdown and COVID.
737 debacle is among the most expensive corporate mistakes in history, like BP's Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Carthage teachers are pulling out their denim. In this case, the fashion statement is helping raise awareness and money for an important cause, type 1 diabetes. Folks paid $5 to wear blue or gray jeans. It was organized by Ashley Weston, a Carthage school district employee who lost her daughter to type 1 diabetes. Since that loss, Weston has taken it upon herself to educate people about the disease, including the warning signs to look for.
Watch for symptoms: extreme thirst, extreme urination, extreme weight loss. Those are the 3 biggies. While Hannah didn't present with those, so many children do.
The money raised goes to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation to fund research and education regarding the disease. It's 5:07.
Sunny and windy today. Another day where we got wind advisories that last all the way until 6 p.m. throughout southwest Missouri. Sunrise at 7:02 on the bus stop forecast. 7-day forecast has temperatures lifting all the way into the mid-70s. Then we begin our rain and a cold front. Don't worry about that though till Friday evening. So get out and enjoy a blustery and beautiful 4-State Thursday.
Let's look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, Pitt State hits the road for its final football game of the season. We'll have a preview. Plus, how can you overcome COVID fatigue? And why pandemic is putting rural hospitals in a tough spot. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Live from KOAM, you're watching the KOAM Morning News. This is the 4 States Most Watched News.
We've made a lot of breakfasts, and along the way, we noticed something was missing. A warm cinnamon roll for breakfast, or with breakfast. A fluffy blueberry muffin from the drive-thru you're already driving through. A glazed apple fritter, which might find its way into your coffee. These are options every breakfast haver should have, and now they do. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Boots, boots, and more boots! It's time again at Jones Boots for the largest boot sale of the year.
And not just boots, we've got Ariat jeans, shirts, and hats.
Not just for fellas.
We have women's shirts, jeans, and ladies' fashion boots.
That's not all either. We got Hey Dudes, Chacos, Twisted X shoes, and more.
That's right. We have something perfect for the whole family.
And everything is on sale.
So come on down to Jones Boots in Sheldon, Missouri now!
Time to start it up, America. You've got a lot of joy to make. And we're kicking off the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event because you've got turkeys to fry and thanks to give. To help you do it right, we're giving you 90 days payment deferment and $1,000 trade assist cash on the Built Ford Tough F-150 and Ford Ranger. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. That'll make a lot of joy this season. Get $10,995 in total savings on F-150, plus $1,000 trade assist on top of what your eligible trade is worth.
Black Friday shopping looks a little different this year, but one thing remains true. Metro Appliances and More continues to offer the lowest pricing on major appliances. And our Black Friday pricing is already in place, so you can shop right now online, over the phone, or in person with one of our experienced appliance specialists. We offer free local delivery, free haul away, and 12-month no-interest financing. Metro Appliances and More, the right price on the right product, right now.
Our slots are hot, our cards are shuffled, and our jackpots are explosive at Kansas Crossing Casino. Whatever you're looking for, there's something here for everyone. So walk away a winner at Kansas Crossing Casino, Pittsburg, Kansas. You're gonna dig it.
Coming up over the weekend, it is the final round of the season for the Pittsburg State football team. Pitt State hits the road on Saturday to face West Texas A&M in the bustling metropolis of Canyon, Texas. It'll be the fourth and final game for the Gorillas this fall. Right now, they're 1-2 after falling to Division I Stephen F. Austin last weekend. First-year head coach Brian Wright says although it's been an abbreviated schedule, it's been worth it for his entire team.
Any opportunity to play this season has helped us and helped our football team come together and grow and get better. And then we have something to evaluate in the offseason and really to work from.
We worked all offseason not knowing if we were going to get to play a game at all. So I think just having 4 games is like exciting for us to be able to go out there and play and not have to waste the offseason doing all these workouts for nothing.
As long as we got at least one game, it would mean that'd make everything worth it.
3 Webb City student athletes signed to continue their careers in college. Now, 2 of them, Tragan Parker and Cole Gaiman, well, they're headed to Missouri Southern. They still have some unfinished business in high school. Our own Andy Ciateco has their story.
Tragan Parker and Cole Gaiman have been teammates for more than a decade.
We've been growing up playing together, and we've always had a great bond and been best friends. And so getting to play college baseball is something that we're looking forward to and thankful for.
The two talked about sticking together beyond high school, and now it's a reality as Parker and Gaiman signed letters of intent to play baseball for Missouri Southern.
We went to a camp our sophomore year, and we were like, this would be awesome if we could do this and pull this off, and to finally sign and do it, is awesome.
I mean, it's going to be great. I mean, just because we've known each other, we're going to have that chemistry on the diamond together.
Tragan's a heck of an infielder, and Cole's a heck of a pitcher, and I know that's how they're going there. So, they'll add depth for sure. Webb City baseball is a really rich tradition. They got a lot of good players, and a lot of players have played college baseball. And it's just great to see these guys be able to do that, and it's an added bonus, I guess, that they're local and playing for my brother.
The COVID-19 pandemic cost these two their junior year. But this spring, they have some unfinished business to take care of before moving on.
We're ready to do big things after our sophomore years, and for it to be taken away from us was devastating. And this year, we're going to work harder than ever and show what we could have done last year.
We're going to make this senior season the best possible and hopefully make the next 4 years even better.
In Webb City, Andy Ciateco, KOAM Sports.
Parker and Gaiman may have signed to play baseball in college, but the two still focused on football this season. That's because Webb City hosts Lebanon in the Class 5 state quarterfinals Friday night at 7. Still to come on the KOAM Morning News, why experts warn the Chinese government is intent on displacing the United States as the world superpower. And a check on our 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Black Friday week, only at Creative Audio. Remote start systems are buy one, get one free. Now through Saturday, get the best deal on the #1 holiday gift. Apple CarPlay touchscreen, $199. Alpine bass tubes, $99. Kicker speakers, $49. JBL Bluetooth speakers, $29. Shop online for gift cards and the best holiday gifts at creativeaudio.net, where we can ship to your door or pick up in store and get it installed today at any of our 5 locations.
Do you love doing something different every day?
Do you love to visit new and exciting places?
Do you love meeting new people and building lasting relationships?
Do you love being able to see the work that you've accomplished?
Then you'll love being a peerless business development owner.
At Harry Cooper Supply, we have unique lighting for every room. Whether building new or just updating, see the latest styles and functionality to create that one-of-a-kind look. Visit our Galleria showrooms in Springfield or Joplin. You're sure to find something to brighten your home.
Don't get caught in the cold. Call Paschal for a heating system tune-up today.
I love the latest from Chiefs Kingdom, Friday on KOAM News at 6.
We drive everywhere to help our son reach his dream of becoming an elite swimmer. So we enrolled in the Know Your Drive program with American Family Insurance. It gives us discounts for safe driving and other benefits, like emergency roadside service, which comes in handy, no matter where his dreams take him. With Know Your Drive, save up to 20% and get closer to your dreams. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Hey, no cell phones at the table.
But it's Grandma.
Hi, Mom.
It's time to cozy up and have fun. Go ahead, give your home those new items you're craving for a comfy new feel. The time is right. It's Slumberland's biggest Thanksgiving sale in 3 years. You'll get an additional 25% off our already low prices. Get your look for less at the Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland.
Bye, Grandma.
Bye, Grandma.
Try a delicious apple fritter, blueberry muffin, or cinnamon roll, now available at McDonald's all day.
A Thursday morning at 5:17, perfect time for a little weather on the 7s, and it's going to be another windy and warm one. Red flag warning still persisting down there in Berry County. The light tan indicating a high wind advisory lasting until 6 p.m. throughout southwest Missouri, expiring at 4 o'clock this afternoon in southeast Kansas. A little light cloud cover, and it gets a little thicker there as we head up to the north. Even had some light raindrops earlier at Joplin Regional Airport. The important thing, though, is just hanging on if you're traveling east and west, because that wind is just barreling in from the south. 40-mile-an-hour gusts right there in Chanute and Nevada. From the Freeman Health System Sky Camera in Joplin, extremely comfortable, 57 degrees already. Well, that'd be our average high for this time of year, and we don't even have sunrise headed our way until 7:02. Already 60 in Fort Scott, 56 in Neosho, and let's roll 59 in Oswego. The ridge of the jet stream that was at one point in time over us yesterday continues to push off to the east toward the Great Lakes, even flatten out a little bit. Don't have that pronounced ridge that we had, but what that'll do, once again, we managed to stay under it for one more day. But it's going to open up a pathway here as it moves out to the east and allow some of this low pressure that's out in the Pacific Northwest to finally head our way. High today up in the mid-70s, just unbelievable temperatures, but it's just going to be windy as all get out once again. Now overnight, the wind does persist at 15 to 20 miles per hour, staying in the 60s, and the reason we're able to do that is the increase of cloud cover as we move into Friday morning. Now Friday, after we get past the noon hour, there's a little development of rain. Not really thunderstorm activity early. We're going to hold that off until Friday night / Saturday morning, and then we'll see it come in from the southwest to the northeast. Got some pockets of heavy rain right there. Even hear some thunder and see some lightning with it, and what's going to be a pretty wet weekend. 7-day forecast will show you on the backside of that activity. Oh, you guessed it. A little bit of a cold front going to drop in right there. So we'll go 68 on Friday. That'll still be wonderful. But look at Saturday and Sunday, especially Saturday into Sunday. Ooh, when you see that high, about the same number as that low, that means after we turn the clock, cold front works in and we drop straight down. On the KOAM News Now Facebook page this morning, also subject of our Instapoll, months since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, you're tired of it. Officials in some states say it's COVID fatigue. That's a phrase they're using. And they're saying that's what's causing some people to get lax in taking precautions needed to stop the spread of the virus. Shawnette Wilson has the details.
Certainly stressful, I would say.
COVID fatigue is what city officials say has caused some to get lax in taking precautions. And for some, it is real.
Yeah, it's worrisome what it's going to happen with local businesses and all the things that we like to do.
Others say just the opposite.
Not for me, because people dying. I call it showing out. I don't, pandemic fatigue, sure. Now, whose house going to have 30 people for Thanksgiving?
But city officials announcing new restrictions for Philly say we have to fight COVID fatigue to flatten the curve again.
We've been with the coronavirus now for 8 months, and everyone's tired of it.
It's the same in Jersey, where officials say the highest case counts are no longer from the beginning of the pandemic.
They have come now, when we are grappling with pandemic fatigue and when we know people have begun to let their guards down.
Licensed professional counselor Melissa Harrison points out two things that lend to COVID fatigue: living in uncertainty and getting used to living in fear, causing us to maybe not take precautions as we did in the beginning.
We also need a sense of belonging, and I think once that starts to diminish, you're going to naturally see some signs of depression, even if you're not meeting full criteria for major depressive disorder. And so I would educate yourself to be on the lookout for when things start to really get really difficult for your mental health.
And what she does with clients, she says we can all do. Make a list of what you learned from the first part of quarantine, what you didn't do or did that worked.
Like, make sure you're calling a friend 3 times a week. Make sure you're going outside for a walk by yourself with a mask on, of course, but getting fresh air, of course. And making sure that you have things in place that when things get bad, you're able to not kind of get to your lowest low.
KOAM News Now Instapoll and Facebook page. Are you experiencing COVID fatigue? Log on and let us know. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Health Watch next.
Going on now at Johnson Floor & Home.
Get all 3 free. Get free installation on hundreds of name brand carpets.
Get a free labor credit on any hardwood, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile installation.
And get 3 years, 0 interest financing with 0 money down.
Plus, we offer expert advice and professional installation no home center can match.
This week, don't just get one.
Get all 3 free. I like it. I like it.
Me too.
At Johnson Floor & Home through Sunday.
It's Chevy Truck Month. It's Deck Building Month. It's Toy Hauling Month. It's Explore New Ground Month. It's the month to get things done. Make it your own and make every month Chevy Truck Month.
Get $4,500 cash allowance on all 2020 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. See your Mocan Chevy dealer today.
Red Collar Pet Foods is now hiring. Vacation prorated up to 120 hours during the first year. 11 paid holidays, all benefits after 30 days, 100% 401k company match on the first 6%. Apply today at www.redcollarpet.com.
At Abernathy Roofing and Construction, it is our desire to be involved in our community and bless those in need around us. That's why we are proud to sponsor KOAM's Toy Box. From all of us at Abernathy Roofing and Construction, Merry Christmas.
Do you have Medicare insurance questions? Call the McGavran Agency, your local leader in Medicare insurance since 1984. We provide simple, easy to understand solutions to your Medicare insurance with locations in Pittsburgh and Joplin for local help with Medicare insurance.
Lambert Tractor is home of the Steel Chainsaw. Fall is here and firewood is calling your name, and it all starts with a Steel Chainsaw. The Steel MS-250 is $60 off while supplies last. Steel Chainsaws at Lambert Tractor in Galena, Kansas.
Topping Health Watch this morning, the Oklahoma State Department of Health says there are 56 ICU beds available across the state. Hospitals say the COVID-19 surge is leaving them strapped of resources, and one Facility head tells Barry Mangold he improvised to get a patient on a ventilator.
We kind of went into panic mode a little bit.
In the last week, Scott Michener of Comanche County Memorial Hospital in Lawton says they've nearly run out of life-saving resources.
Last week, one day, we were down to one ventilator, and that's pretty stressful because if two people come in, that means there's not enough for one. We had a day this weekend where we had to pull a ventilator out of an ambulance called a transport ventilator.
The State Department of Health says there are 33 ventilators in Comanche County. Michener says there's more on the way. Across the state, there are 16 counties the health department says have 0 ventilators.
There is a fixed amount of resources here.
Larger hospital systems in the metro like Integris and Norman Regional Health say they have enough ventilators on hand, but Dr. David Chansom says they fear the worst.
We don't ever want to think about what could happen if we run out of ventilators. We don't ever want to think about what could happen if we run out of beds. But the fact of the matter is we do have to think about that.
Last week, doctors said if the state's infection rate does not slow down, hospitals will run out of more than ventilators.
My concern is we can keep getting ventilators, but who's going to run them, you know?
We have some extra ventilators right now. The hard part is I don't know that I have enough true ICU beds to put them in.
With that in mind, doctors urge everyone to get tested and to practice social distancing as much as possible through the holiday break.
You let us worry about the hospital space. You worry about wearing your mask, socially distancing, and hand hygiene, and having a safe Thanksgiving.
According to Johns Hopkins, the state of Oklahoma has 29,000 active cases and more than 1,500 reported deaths related to the coronavirus. Well, a drug used to treat high blood pressure may offer new hope to people battling alcoholism. Yale researchers found the drug Prazosin significantly reduced severe withdrawal symptoms like shakes, heightened cravings, and anxiety earlier in recovery. The risk of air pollution on women may vary with age. According to a new study in the journal Neurology, older women exposed to higher levels were at greater risk of brain shrinkage, which is common in patients with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Have to fight the wind today. Got a high wind advisory in effect all the way until 4 o'clock in southeast Kansas, 6 o'clock in southwest Missouri. But you'll notice the temperatures managed to make it all the way up into the mid-70s. Just abnormally warm today. And not too bad tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow afternoon when the rain begins, light and scattered to start. Then we'll get thunderstorm activity Friday night into Saturday. It's going to be a wet weekend with a cold front on the heels drop us down into the 40s and 50s.
Here's your chance to snatch Santa's stuff at High Winds Casino. Be at High Winds on Saturdays in November and December when 10 players will each get to snatch a prize from Santa's stuff. And on New Year's Eve, one lucky finalist will win Santa's sleigh, a brand new 2021 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4x4.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Bach with your KOAM News Update. The city of Joplin City Council has set a special meeting for tonight at 6 o'clock. One of the items on the agenda is an emergency ordinance for a mask mandate. Local hospitals have been calling on area government officials to enact mask mandates in their communities. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly issues a new mask mandate. The mandate takes effect on November 25th, but state law allows counties to opt out, which most did the last time the governor issued a mask mandate. Newton County commissioners say they'll soon buy a mobile morgue following requests from Freeman and Mercy hospitals. COVID-19 creates a number of issues when a patient dies from the virus in the hospital, and officials say a mobile morgue could be a solution. Here's Michael with today's forecast.
Wind advisory today, anywhere from 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts coming in. Now, what it will do is give us extremely warm temperatures for this time of year. We're talking about already being above our average high before sunrise and then pushing up into the mid-70s later on this afternoon. 7-day forecast does send us some rain, much needed rain. Begins Friday afternoon, scattered, and then really picks up on Saturday and Sunday with cooler temperatures that drop us into the 50s and 40s. All the latest on the Skywatch weather app.
As it sounds. See you at Denny's.
Before the holiday season, it's the season of Black Friday deals from Suddenlink.
Right now, get fast and reliable internet starting at only $20 a month. Don't wait to get faster internet with this great Black Friday deal today. Plus, now you can get gig speed, so your connections get even faster at a price that's for life, all on our next generation network. Act now to get internet from Suddenlink for as low as $20 a month with no annual contract. Hurry to get these Black Friday deals online now. Visit suddenlink.com/fast today.
The U.S. reaches another grim milestone as coronavirus cases surge. We'll have the latest on efforts to fight the virus nationwide. Plus, why Joplin hospitals are getting a mobile morgue and reaction from city and county officials to request for a mask mandate.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach. Coming up this half hour, something to talk about this morning is about COVID fatigue. Let us know whether or not you're experiencing any. You can also participate in this morning's Instapoll. Just visit KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. But first, a check on your forecast.
Flag still up and running. Look at that. Just south wind will not give up on us. We're talking about 30 to 35 mile per hour gusts that we've been picking up in Joplin, up to 45 in Chanute. A little additional cloud cover for this morning. It's not going to stick around. Although we did pick up some light rain at Joplin Regional Airport, despite the fact that we've got pretty dry conditions. All right, red flag warning for Berry County. The tan that you see, that is a high wind advisory. The difference in the color codes right there, the Southwest Missouri Central 4-state one, that lasts until 6. The darker color one there, that goes all the way until 4 p.m., so 6, 1/2 dozen. It's all the same. But look at these wind gusts we're talking about. We very well could see something up to 60 miles per hour later on today. Be very careful traveling east and west, especially if you have a high-profile vehicle. Warm temperatures, though. We're talking about mid to high 50s already, and that's way before sunrise. So 57 right now for the Freeman Health System Sky Camera in Joplin, and sunrise not until 7:02. So by the time we get to that 9 o'clock hour, we're already up into the 60s. And this afternoon, we'll roll 70s. We're going to stay dry for today. We will begin to pick up some rain here by the time we get into Friday afternoon. Start light and scattered. Then Friday night into Saturday, we become more widespread. Going to be a wet and cool weekend. Temperatures dropping down to the 50s and 40s.
Well, we got one more nice warm day, even though it's a little windy out there.
Oh my gosh, I can't even open up the back door right now.
It's ridiculous.
I was forcing it open.
I physically have to lock my screen door, which you normally wouldn't do.
Oh, yeah.
Because the wind just finds a way to burst it open.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just crazy. All right, thanks, Michael. Well, another grim milestone has been hit. 250,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus. The rising cases and hospitalizations around the country are at record levels, and it's forcing local officials to crack down. Deborah Alfarone has details.
State and local governments are reimposing measures to slow the spread of the coronavirus.
And I need to ask a little more.
I know this will cause some more harm out there.
The restrictions, mostly on businesses like restaurants, bars, and gyms, come as the total number of Americans who have died from COVID-19 passes 250,000.
The rate of growth we're seeing from the middle of October to now is something we haven't seen since March.
A record 79,000 Americans are currently hospitalized.
We don't ever want to think about what could happen if we run out of beds. But the fact of the matter is we do have to think about that.
Residents in Pittsburgh are being advised to stay home as the number of new cases there hit a record high.
I'm done asking, and today I'm telling you that these are things we must all do to bring down the level of spread.
New York City's positivity rate hit 3%, forcing the nation's largest school district into total remote learning.
So I guess we're ready, but we're not really ready.
Health experts are concerned the holidays will exacerbate the situation.
This will be the first time sort of in this pandemic where we have kind of back-to-back events where people are very used to getting together as family.
Chris Hauser's wife, Brandy, died from COVID-19 in October.
One holiday missed is better than having a holiday without a loved one. I'm not going to have Brandy for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
One coronavirus model projects another 110,000 Americans will die by Inauguration Day. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News.
The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation says with current restrictions, there may be about 360,000 deaths by January 20th. If there is universal mask usage, the total drops to as low as 300,000. Well, here's an updated look at coronavirus cases among some of our area counties. Jasper County has had 4,405 total cases. Newton County is reporting 2,805 cases. McDonald County has had 1,477 cases. Crawford County is sitting at 2,026. And Ottawa County has had a total of 1,515 cases. Newton County commissioners say they'll soon buy a mobile morgue following requests from Freeman and Mercy hospitals. A number of communities around the nation are already using mobile morgues, like this one in El Paso, Texas. 4 state hospital officials are concerned that rising rates of COVID-19 could limit their ability to properly care for all their patients. Newton County Commissioner Bill Ribel also says COVID-19 creates even more issues when a patient dies from the virus in the hospital, and a mobile morgue could be a solution. Local hospitals have been calling on area government officials to enact mask mandates in their communities. Now, at least 4 cities in our area have released statements about where they stand on potential mask mandates. Joplin Mayor Ryan Stanley issued a letter saying he would be contacting county commissioners in Jasper and Newton counties in an effort to work together to determine the best way to move forward. 3 other cities, Carl Junction, Webb City, and Carthage, issued statements later in the day saying they're trusting their citizens to do the right thing. Some Newton County officials say a mandate may not be the best course.
The problem is with a mandate is the enforcement of the mandate. It's almost impossible to enforce a mandate. And then when you do mandate, you do get people that push back against that mandate.
Joplin City Council has set a special meeting for tonight at 6. One of the items on the agenda is an emergency ordinance for a mask mandate. MSSU Board of Governors met yesterday. One of the topics was how the school would handle classes next semester. President Van Galen says the campus will still be open to staff and students, and though most classes will be online, some will still be in person. Well, if you've gotten a phone call yesterday about a volunteer with the Pittsburgh Noon Rotary, it was part of Fantasy Feast 2020. It's a phone-a-thon for Lord's Diner. The diner is a not-for-profit in Pittsburgh that serves free meals 365 days a year to anyone who is hungry.
It makes me a little teary-eyed in the fact that you know, we're on this earth because of God. Our possessions are because of God, and God wants us to give back. That's the will of God. And when we do something like that, I can't think of anything but good thoughts.
Received a $50,000 matching grant given by an anonymous donor. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. Why putting up those Christmas decorations early could actually be good for your mental health. Plus, we'll show you an Egyptian man's amazing work of art made completely out of matchsticks. But first, it's 5:37.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Joe Leake called me and asked me to do something, I'd just say yes. Love that dude. Love everybody out there at Noon Rotary. Fresh air forecast with a high wind advisory. Temperatures all the way up into the 70s. Sunny skies for the afternoon. We will get some rain over the weekend, but we don't have to worry about that till Friday afternoon. We'll be back right after this.
Thanks for waiting, kids.
Go ahead, sis, I got it.
Bye, Mom. Thanks, Mom. I really appreciate it.
That's how strong my love is. That's how strong my love is.
Toyota-thon is on. Get 0% APR on 11.
Good Thursday morning. Michael Hayslip here with you in the Skywatch Weather Center. We've got a high wind advisory lasting all the way through the evening hours as we'll have wind gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour for the second consecutive day. Temperatures abnormally warm for this time of November, all the way into the 70s. And increasing cloud cover overnight keeps us very warm into Friday. Speaking of Friday, rain develops Friday afternoon, carries us into the weekend.
All of us at Prairie Partners would like to thank you for your business, and right now, Prairie Partners has service and inspection packages designed to give you the power of choice and save you money. From compact tractors and construction equipment to the largest tractors and combines John Deere offers, we've got an option for you. We've also got Legend Series options for older John Deere combines and tractors. Call, stop by, or visit prairielandpartners.com to schedule your inspection and service before the end of the year.
Mom, I need to get a school physical by tomorrow morning.
Hey, hon, he keeps tugging on his ear.
Have a medical issue that's not life-threatening? Instead of the emergency room, come to one of the 2 convenient urgent care centers. No appointment is necessary, just walk in and be treated. Sports physicals, minor injuries, aches and pains, bumps and scrapes. We have on-site physicians, a lab, and x-ray available to care for you. Freeman Urgent Care, cost-effective, convenient care in your neighborhood.
Closed captioning is brought to you by AutoInjury.com and the law offices of Aaron Sachs and Associates, committed to community service.
Topping World Watch, we're getting fresh information about just how seriously the U.S. government is taking the growing threat from China. A new report says Beijing leadership is intent on displacing the U.S. as the world's most powerful nation. Benjamin Hall looks at the implications of this from London.
New generation of Chinese fighter pilots landing on a new generation of Chinese carriers. War games simulating the naval invasion of Taiwan. Further arrests of opposition lawmakers in Hong Kong. And high in the Himalayas, reports that China used a secret microwave weapon to incapacitate Indian soldiers. China has also now signed a major trade deal with 14 other Asian Pacific countries. The first that unites China, Japan, South Korea and Australia. China has been flexing its military and economic muscles, and the State Department is paying close attention, issuing a warning to the incoming administration, saying, "The CCP aims not merely at preeminence within the established world order, but to fundamentally revise world order, placing the People's Republic of China at the center and serving Beijing's authoritarian goals and hegemonic ambitions." President Trump has repeatedly criticized Democrats for failing to address China's behavior, and there remains little clarity on President-elect Biden's plans for the U.S.-China relationship.
We need to be aligned with the other democracies, another 25% or more, so that we can set the rules of the road instead of having China and others dictate outcomes because they are the only game in town.
China has congratulated President-elect Biden, but they remain cautious of President Trump. State media reporting that Beijing is preparing for what they say could be a, quote, final act of madness from President Trump to sabotage Biden's presidency. There is a growing and bipartisan belief that the U.S. needs a more aggressive approach to China. Whether President-elect Biden shares this approach remains to be seen.
A White House official says the president will take a more hardline stance against China for his remaining time in office. According to the official, the actions can now be quickly implemented because President Trump is less worried about the China trade deal falling apart. Australia's Defence Force has recommended an investigation into alleged unlawful killings in Afghanistan between 2009 and 2013. The report released this morning alleges 39 killings of prisoners, farmers, or other civilians by 19 members of the Australian Special Forces. According to the chief of the Defence Force, none of the crimes were described as being conducted in the heat of battle. Well, German police use a water cannon on demonstrators during a protest against coronavirus restrictions. Thousands were on the streets of Berlin Wednesday demonstrating against restrictions as lawmakers debated a bill that would strengthen their ability to impose further measures. Police said the water cannon was used because the crowd refused to listen to their orders to wear face masks and keep socially distanced. An Egyptian man recreates famous landmarks using matchsticks. 62-year-old Ahmed Hassan is a radiologist by day and moonlights as an artist by night. His works of ancient and modern wonders of the world include the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. He says he was inspired by his sorrow after historic cathedral caught fire last year. It took him 3 months and 28,000 matches to make his masterpiece. Hassan's other works include the Tower Bridge, also known as London Bridge, and Alexandria's lighthouse. That's really cool. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Let's toss it over to Michael for our Something to Talk About.
Feel bad for starting the fire pit last night. He could have used it. 28,000 matches. KOAM News Now Facebook page and our Something to Talk About this morning, as well as our Insta poll. It is what's being called COVID fatigue, and asking if you are suffering from it. We'll start with Michelle Pacini. Morning, KOAM and Mama. We say morning, Michelle. Michelle says, so many never did take it serious and still don't. Remember it was a hoax, Michelle asks. I've always been okay with doing my part, being part of the solution, not the problem. And honestly, I have more election fatigue, people fighting, arguing 24/7 still, just no into it. Merle Bass says, stop reporting cases for money. Dave Sorek, the Midwest was shut down too early. 2 weeks to flatten the curve, 30 days to slow the spread, yet it was months before a case arrived in Barton County. Dave says leadership lost credibility. Now that it's getting real around here, it's difficult to get commitment. Dave says, wash your hands. And Kenny Kimmel says, take about the same suggested by health officials in the beginning. Don't go out more than necessary. When I do go out, I wear a mask when indoors or around others. Carry hand sanitizer in my vehicle. Use it every time I get back in the car after shopping. Appreciate the engagement, and you can feel free to leave that your message there anytime. On the Insta poll right now, 73% of you say that you got about the same COVID-19 precautions that you took earlier this year. Now, 29% do say that you take more, only 4% saying less. You can vote. Go to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Be back right after this.
That's not bacon, it's sausage.
Whoa.
Behold, Johnsonville sausage strips. Sausage that looks and cooks like bacon. It's a meaty miracle. Find them in the bacon section, even though they're sausage.
Black Friday shopping looks a little different this year, but one thing remains true. Metro Appliances and More continues to offer the lowest pricing on major appliances. And our Black Friday pricing is already in place, so you can shop right now online, over the phone, or in person with one of our experienced appliance specialists. We offer free local delivery, free haul away, and 12-month no-interest financing. Metro Appliances and More, the right price on the right product right now.
Stay and play. You can do it all at Buffalo Run with our stay and play packages. Take some time to de-stress or live it up. Enjoy Peoria Ridge, Northeast Oklahoma's premier golf course. Play it up in our casino voted #1 loosest slots, or enjoy an elegant meal in the Coleman House. Buffalo Run's exclusive stay and play packages are all you need to de-stress in your own way. To learn more, visit BuffaloRun.com. Buffalo Run Casino and Resort in Miami, Oklahoma.
For anyone who's been waiting for a reason to get breakfast, hey look, this reason is covered in cream cheese icing. Meet the new bakery sweets at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time to start it up, America. You've got a lot of joy to make. And we're kicking off the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event because you've got turkeys to fry and thanks to give. To help you do it right, we're giving you 90 days payment deferment and 1,000 trade assist cash on the Built Ford Tough F-150 and Ford Ranger. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. That'll make a lot of joy this season. Get $10,995 in total savings on F-150, plus 1,000 trade assist on top of what your eligible trade is worth.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. More than 250,000 Americans have died from the coronavirus. The death toll, according to Johns Hopkins, already exceeds Dr. Anthony Fauci's pandemic estimate in March by 10,000. And while new cases surged nationwide, President-elect Joe Biden told frontline healthcare workers President Trump is blocking his transition team from getting up to speed on the crisis. Newton County commissioners say they'll soon buy a mobile morgue following requests from Freeman and Mercy hospitals. 4 state hospital officials are concerned that rising rates of COVID-19 could limit their ability to properly care for all their patients. Newton County Commissioner Bill Reibold also says COVID-19 creates even more issues when a patient dies from the virus in the hospital, and a mobile morgue could be a solution. Joplin City Council sets a special meeting for tonight at 6 p.m. One of the items on the agenda is an emergency ordinance for a mask mandate. Local hospitals have been calling on area government officials to enact mask mandates in their communities. 3 other cities, Carl Junction, Webb City, and Carthage, issued statements later in the day saying they're trusting their citizens to do the right thing. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly issued a new mask mandate. The mandate takes effect on November 25th. But state law allows counties to opt out, which most did the last time the governor issued a mask mandate. Kelly last month floated the idea of calling the Republican-controlled legislature into special session to have them repeal counties' authority to opt out of public health orders. Lawmakers are not scheduled to reconvene until January. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.